Okay, and I think we are live. Hello and welcome everyone to the penultimate round of Season 9 IRL Division 1. We are in the very wet, very greasy streets of Miami. Personally hate this track, but that's the challenge for the drivers tonight, and we have a championship to decide. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. The match is simple. If Redstone wins and gets the fastest lap in that Mercedes, he will win if VFix does not finish the race.
DNS.
But joining me in the comms box is Jin. Jin, it's been a while since you have graced us with your presence, but welcome back.
Well,
Glad your family is okay, and please continue to pray for Manipur, everyone, as the situation unfolds. But Jin, yeah, good to have you back. And what are your thoughts? We've missed a bit of the qualifying so far, but take us through what has happened so far.
so nothing really noteworthy has happened. Easy level bot retired from the session. Azun was setting a lap, but then ultimately he decided to do Azun things and not set a lap. Sai crashed out of the session. I'm not sure if Vintage Player crashed out of the session or not, but he's also not setting a lap. So nothing much to miss really. It's just I think it's going to be an inters qualifying followed by it showed up as a changeable conditions race, but the probability for rain was very low. So we'll see how the race pans out itself. But yeah, so far we haven't missed out on much, Malav. The first 6 minutes have been, well, basically they've been dead minutes, dead rubber, to be honest. So we'll see how this goes right now.
All right, and currently spectating Redstone as it tries to put in a lap. It's been a while since I've been in comms box as well, so I've forgotten the controls. Now I have them up on the screen, and I have no idea what kind of delta is running, but it seems like, and these are intermediate conditions, Jim. So I'm sure drivers have more than just the customary 3 or 4 laps of fuel on board, and expect them to make multiple runs on the same set of tires.
Yes, so with inters again, getting heat into the tires is very important. So even for the last runs, I doubt that anyone's gonna try the let's just do one out lap and then do the fastest lap and then try hope for the best. I think they're gonna go aim for 2 fast laps towards the end. So it should be interesting to see how drivers time this. Intermediate sessions always do come down to it as to who gets onto the track last, depending on if the track is gonna get dry
Oh,
towards the end.
V6 just saw that lost his rear end and has damaged his wing. Definitely the end plate missing on the left hand side. Sorry to cut you off
So
there,
he's gonna have. It's all
but
right. I just saw it as well. He's gonna have to probably pit.
yeah, he's
There's
definitely
a
gonna pit.
three. Yeah, there's a 3/10 gap between 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to 5 as well. So this is consistency, right? The D1 is all about consistency, right there, as you see.
Yeah, currently spectating Caesar, who's about to finish his current lap as we take a look at the championship table, Jin. And it cannot really
It's
get
a
much
one
closer
point
than that. It's a
difference.
one
It's
point
a 1 point
difference
difference.
with the Redstone leading VFX, 154 points for Redstone to VFX's 153. And if I've been told correctly, they have the same number of wins, 5 wins apiece.
They have the same number of wins, same number of podiums as well, if I'm correct about it. So
Yeah, so it's pretty
depending on
much neck and
how.
neck for the two drivers. Ferrari Mercedes versus Mercedes, something which we long to see in 2017, 2018 real life seasons, but we got that for maybe half
I
a
mean,
season and then Ferrari really
yeah,
dwindled off.
Ferrari did basically.
Yeah, Ferrari did a
I
Ferrari.
mean, 2023, we are seeing Ferrari versus Mercedes, but yeah,
Yeah, it's a different kind
it's
of
not
battle.
been the yeah,
V6 is gonna
obviously
continue, which is a bit of a surprise. The track is
surprising.
drying as well, so it is likely we might see
I
some dry
think
running here because 9 minutes to go, plenty of time to get to the
possibly.
slicks.
I think he's gonna run to assess conditions whether it's all right to go out on slicks or not. Because when someone else tells you that it might be time for inters, you do have to factor in your own judgment as well, whether that's the correct call or not. So I think VFix is backing himself for this. So I think that's the reason why he stayed out.
Yep, and a familiar face from the OG IRL gang, that is SFR Sonic Hawk in his Alpha Tauri running the number 90. And let's see how he does. There are 6 people watching the stream so far. Let us know, guys, if you can hear the audio as well, because we've just joined in a haste. So I hope everyone can hear me and Jin and the engine sounds. As let's see, the track is continuously drying as we speak. Let's try to pick up someone who's about to start a lap. Jin, if you can help me with that, and we'll go on board with them.
I'm trying to see. I think Shadow is on his lap. He's just doing sector 1 right now.
Yeah, that's the infamous corner where Shadow and VFX had contact, I think a couple of seasons back, and VFX was penalized for that. Still driving his favorite Ferrari VFX, and Shadow in his AlphaTauri. Hasn't raced with us a lot this season, has been in and out.
He was there last week. He was there last week, as far as I remember.
Alright, good. I wasn't there last week, so that's why I probably don't remember. But yeah, so good on Shadow to make it to the race this time, and
Shadow looks like he doesn't have a front wing at all. On my screen, there's no front wing on his car.
Yeah, there's no front wing.
Is it the same for you?
Going very slow through the twisty corners, and he has no front wing. Redstone in the pits, by the way. I think it's early for slick tires, but you never know. A lot of people in the pits right now.
VFX with the broken end plate has set a 35.743. That is not a bad time at all, considering that he's got damage on his car.
I think he's at this time just before he actually damaged his wing. He is invalidated this lap, but I think these laps are practice laps, Jen. I don't think these are going to be representative. The track is going to get much faster as the minutes roll by. So should be in for an exciting final few minutes.
Of course. Meanwhile, Bloodx Wave, quite a fast lap, 35.413 right there. So that's a nice lap by him. Redstone has DNF'd in the past 2 races. That's basically last week VFX couldn't race due to government issues. Yeah, and in that one, that was Redstone's chance to, completely shut, seal, and deliver the championship to himself. But he crashed out of that race as well. So
I'm not sure I remember his DNF in Belgium. I don't remember how he crashed out. But
it was after Kemal Straight. I think he was taking the right, left, and then he got too greedy on the throttle and he crashed out.
Right, so
is here as well.
Is done as well. So another quick driver. There's a yellow flag in sector 1.
In sector 1, it wasn't for an Aston Martin. The only Aston Martin I know, there are 2 Aston Martins. So I think, it was Bloodx Wave because he's 2.7 down in the second sector. So it might have been him.
So Jin, Abhishek has just started a lap. If you want to take us through this, he's in sector 1 right now.
Alright, I'll take. Oh, he spun.
Okay.
It's the commentator's curse.
It's the commentator's curse, guys. Probably we should just mute ourselves and you guys can watch the stream. We'll just do the camera work. As Noah says hello in his typical Noah fashion. Sonic Hawk up into P5. That's great to see. Ahead of the likes of Basil and Abhishek and Jishnu and our very own Caesar as well. Caesar seems to be on a lap as well.
Azun is doing a timed lap right now. Azun is doing a timed lap right now. He's on the final straight before.
Alright, let's spectate Azun. On board with Azun as he's now
to
go.
Is he going to troll us?
Well, he did mention to me a few weeks back that he will qualify in Miami. He'll do a proper quali lap. Now, he might still wait until the last run. Yeah, that's what I hope he's doing, because I don't think he's gonna go back on his word. As you can see, the sun now shining through the clouds. So we are very close, and it's gonna tease the drivers. It's still not slicks yet, but they want to go on those tires and maybe do an out lap, a couple of out laps to gauge the conditions, and then come back. Redstone on an out lap, and he's on the inters as well.
But it's a double-edged sword, isn't it, Malav? Because it's only 4 minutes 23 left in the session. If you do an outlap, there's no way you can make it back and put on a fresh set of inters, and So we're going to see which which drivers are actually brave enough to take the gamble in this certain scenario right here. I don't think the track is still dry enough for slicks. And Azun has retired from session, so he's not setting a time lap.
So that's got to be a penalty from the steward's room. Bloodx Wave on an out lap. Redstone, by the way, back in the pits after completing his out lap, so he did not set a time lap in, and I think
probably gonna.
Yeah, I think he might
go
just
for
go
minimal fuel, and then do one outlap and then try to finish it off. Of course, there's no time for two outlaps. So
Yeah, that's gonna be
this is
just
where we
one.
find ourselves.
So the timing is gonna be very important for these drivers, as Abhishek is navigating to the second sector there. Yes, then.
Well, let's look at it this way. Let's say it takes 1 minute 36 to finish a lap. So ideally, you'd have to leave with 2 minutes 20 on the clock, 2 minutes 15, 2 minutes 20, just to be on the safer side of things. Because the
Yeah.
track is very empty right now. Look at that. There's only like 4 people on track, and 2 of them have just come out of pits. So Blood X Wave also into the pits. I think it's going to be a slick run now.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
Sonic
there's no
Hawk on the
point
slick
of him
tires. Sonic Hawk on the slick tires, and I'm assuming Abhishek will be coming in, but he's gonna. Oh, what is he doing, Abhishek? I think he got a bit confused there with his pit entry. Chips Shima on an outlap. Is he on the slicks? Yes, he is. Chips on the slick tires, and I think everyone now will be leaving the pits.
Redstone
There will be a
on
flurry
the
of
slicks.
cars.
Blood X Wave is just entering the pits, so he might be in a very tight crunch as far as this one goes.
I don't think he's gonna make it. Blood X Wave. That's gonna be very, very close. And the thing is, it's so stupid. This game, they put the tire blankets on. It's very, very weird. They don't need to do that.
I don't understand why the F1 game doesn't have the feature where, in real life, like how you can just do a pit stop in qualifying. Yes.
Yep.
I never understand that part about it, but
well, the F1 game doesn't have a lot of basic features, then, so I think who are we to complain? Either ways,
Redstone is just coming up to the end of Sector 2, if I'm correct, on his outlap, so he'll have one shot and one shot only to do this. VFix, meanwhile, is quite far behind Redstone, so the pressure is on Redstone to deliver his lap first. And if it's a good lap, then all onus back onto VFix to do something out of it. Meanwhile, everyone is on the Sonic Hawk is on his time lap. He's probably going to go P. Oh no, he just started his time lap right now. My bad. There's a delay in the timing screen, and when he actually crossed the line, so I thought that. Ethan
Sonic
also
Hawk,
has his.
Can he get 2 runs in? I think it will. No, I don't think that's possible. So. Everyone is gonna get 1 run as well. What about Chips? Chips might just get
DRS
2 runs in. Chips across the line. No, he's still in Sector 2. Sorry, Sector 1.
DRS has been enabled, so now it is officially dry running season, ladies and gentlemen. Sonic, of course, is gonna set a purple in the first sector. He's still going through really well. DRS wide open right now. The car coming in beautifully, sweeping across that fast left here. Now it's downshift into this corner where you ideally take it in fourth and then shift on immediately to a right. It's very close to the wall stuff here. Surprisingly, in D2 yesterday, we just saw one safety car only, and that too for something that didn't really necessitate a safety car, in my very honest view about these things. And Sector 3, someone did have a yellow. I think he might just have slowed down a bit in order to get the perfect launch towards the line. Sonic, meanwhile, DRS wide open on the back straight. He is, let's see his braking point for this corner right now. It can be tricky to brake for this because you want the optimum braking point, and Sonic has gone slightly wide of the apex, but that opens enough more. Coming through full flat, left, right. It's gonna be P1. It's 131.9, and my god, Sonic hasn't lost an inch of pace. He's 4.4 seconds. He's 3.4 seconds faster.
Where's the red flag? Where's the red flag? Chips goes faster. That's a second faster.
A second. I think Redstone might sit somewhere around 28 something. You are Ethan with a 29.1. Yes.
So do we see a high 28s or maybe even a low 28s? Can VFX?
I think it might be a 27s. It's not. It's slower. It's 29.554.
So Redstone's not going to be on pole. What about VFX? Jishnu goes to the pole.
On pole.
VFX, what has he got on store? Who's the 28.9? And VFX across the line, fighting for the championship. VFX goes P4. Blood X Wave is also on a lap.
Crucially.
Basil goes
pole position. But crucially, VFix is ahead of Redstone Derp at the race start. I know that he does have some traffic to go through, but...
Yeah, goes Shadow meanwhile. Just a section. Shadow's about to complete his lap behind him. Is Blood X Wave also on a lap? And behind him, I think, is Sid Venkatesh. But rest, Blood
Oh,
X
Blood
Wave
X
with the
Wave!
pole. Can Sid Venkatesh snatch that away from him? He's going slightly slower than usual. And I don't know where he finished,
P11,
but
I think,
Blood
for
X
Sid.
Wave. Oh, that's 8 for
No, that
Sid.
was Sonic.
Good time. But pole position for Blood X Wave
I
in
think,
the Aston
I think
Martin.
Blood
That
X
might be
Wave.
his first
I
pole
think Blood
position.
X Wave. I think so, and I absolutely think Blood X Wave timed it correctly because he was the third last car who crossed the finish line, Malav. And in these conditions, you have to take every small bit of track position advantage that you can get.
Alright, so that's the grid in front of you. Blood X Wave with Aston Martin and Williams. Aston Martin and Williams front row. Hushrov in P3 with Jishnu and the McLaren in P4. The third row of the grid
Ethan
is
in
Ethan
P5
and VFX
and
as
VFix, Redstone and
Redstone
Sid
and Sid
Venkatesh.
Venkatesh on the fourth row of the grid with Shadow
Caesar never
Sword.
got a lap time in. Caesar never got a lap time in on the softs. Look at that. He's
Yeah, and neither did
P13.
Abhishek's as well, and a few other drivers, I'm assuming. So that's the end of a hectic qualifying. Jen, I'll be back in half a minute. Need to get some water. I
Even
just
I'm gonna be
came
back
back
in
home.
half a
So,
minute. I'm
guys,
gonna use the
enjoy the Miami
washrooms.
views. We'll be back in a bit.
Vice City time. Coast to coast from LA to Chicago. Right, so since it's a bit of a dead period right now, because Malav did say he's going to take some time to come back, we're going to walk through the formation lap right now. Blood X Wave on pole, Basil second, Hushraf third, Jishnu fourth, Ethan fifth, VFix sixth. The championship contenders, 1 and 2, are in 6th and 7th, and Caesar, who definitely needs a win if he has to keep his championship hopes alive, is in P13, but stranger things have happened here. I just want to look at what tires everyone is starting on because that is itself going to be an interesting challenge. Okay. Very, very interesting right now. The top three are on mediums. Jishnu and Ethan have gone for hard tires. So anyone behind them, that is VFix and Redstone, for them the goal would be to get past them as fast as possible. Otherwise, the hard tires in the beginning 6 laps at least are going to hold back the grid quite significantly. So how fast they can get that overtake done is on them. Turn 1 can be a chaotic zone because of how it's a very fast approach and then it closes into an almost well, I'll just say reference back to Mick Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel last season, what happened in turn 1. So we'll see how this pans out. Should be interesting. It's a fast turn 1 heading into a near 90-degree right. So should be interesting. Mediums, if you're on the mediums, you're probably going to pit around lap 14 or 13 if you're trying to pull off the undercut, and from there you're just going to put on the hards and try to finish the race. So right now Jishnu, Ethan, they have to warm up the tires more than the others. VFix meanwhile just straight lining it. Behind him is Redstone Derp right now. I just hope there are no incidents because I do not want to stewards report too much. Azun in P18 on softs. Azun's the only one who's starting on softs, and Red Bull has just spun. That is Hushav. Yes, that is Hushav.
I think that might be on
Maybe
purpose from
some.
Hushraf. But here we go.
Yes.
The grid is
Blood
about to be
X Wave
set.
got disqualified from session. So
Oh,
I think
that's
that
not
means his
ideal on
tire
pole.
temperatures might take a small hit.
The
I
tire
absolutely
temperatures.
think it's going to be very close between P4 to P6 right now because P4 and P5 are on hard tires. So that is going to be very close heading into turn one. So we'll see who plays it safe. Azun also got disqualified from session, but then again he's P18. So and he's next to Vintage and PSI. I mean,
All right, like coming
4,
out.
5. Shadow with the drive through. Blood Wave has started well. Jishnu meanwhile has jumped Hushra. VFix still in P6, heads down turn 1. What happened to VFix? VFix is all the way down in P. Oh, he's P7
Oh,
now with
there's
Redstone. Oh,
chaos.
what a chaotic start. Redstone is now down in P9. Caesar from P13 to P7. Championship protagonists are P7. Oh, Ethan is now a roadblock for Redstone to get past. I have no idea what. And Ethan spun.
Ethan
I
is
think Ethan spun.
spun. And no
Oh
front
my
wing for
god.
Ethan. Oh,
There's
Shadow
a
Sword.
Alpha
Something has happened to
Taurian.
Shadow Sword. There's absolute chaos here. It's a yellow flag and there's no
I
DNFs
think
yet. But Caesar once
possibly
again, what a start from him.
what could have happened is because Shadow jump started, it might have offset every driver's reaction times by a bit because he would Sai gets a 5 second for ignoring yellow flag. What might have happened is he might have gotten like the other drivers timing messed up because of what went around. So that is my only take on what possibly could have happened. VFX meanwhile will have to wait for DRS to overtake Caesar. Don't get me wrong, Caesar is fast, but VFX is on the more ideal tire right now. So we shall see what happens. He's trying to get his nose in, takes a wider line. I almost thought Redstone made contact with VFX's rear
Hushrav in
end
the
right there,
pit,
but
so
turns
he
out he
has
didn't.
damage maybe.
Yes. Oh, by the way, the pit entry at Miami can be tricky because it's not your typical pit entry, right? So there's a chance we might see some people cutting the pit lane entry today. So that is to be kept in mind as well. Hushraf, meanwhile, Basil keeping up very well with Blood X. He's pressurizing him. Meanwhile, look at how much Jishnu has held up. There's a chasm formed between Basil and Jishnu right now, so Basil doesn't even have to worry about anyone attacking him from the back. He'll just wait for DRS and he'll try to get past Blood X wave as
Here
fast as
goes
possible.
VFX.
On Caesar down the inside, it's quite close. I don't think the overtake is the smart move right now. The smarter move is to wait for DRS. But you have Redstone Derp breathing down your neck. You have Caesar, a three-time IRL champion in front of you. So this is a battle of, it's a battle of champions right now. VFix versus Caesar, two of the most successful drivers in IRL history, if the stats serve me
By
right.
a mile. And here goes VFix now once again, and he's not using his DRS. Now he's using his battery. Sorry, DRS is not yet available. It will be
No,
available at the end of this lap. And
this
VFix,
lap,
can he actually go for a
I
move? I think
I
he's
don't
gonna
think he
stay
will. I think
behind
he stays. This is
and
the
allows.
smarter thing to do. Caesar has gone very wide. Look at the entry point for Caesar. And VFX had to back off throttle slightly, otherwise he would have made contact with Caesar right there. So fair racing so far between all of them. So yeah, even Redstone can't attack VFX right now because VFX will have DRS courtesy of Mercurial Caesar. So yeah, right now it's a bottleneck. These from P4 to P7, it's even P8 I'd say. P4 to P8, it's a bottleneck. All of them will have DRS on each other.
Yep, and up
And
ahead, Blood
meanwhile,
X Wave has gapped Basil by a bit, and these are crucial laps because DRS is enabled. Basil might have just about stayed within DRS of the
yes,
Aston
for
Martin,
Basil, all I can
but
say is these are no, Basil does have DRS. I was just going to say that for Basil, these are critical
I think
corners.
VFX is going to make the move this
Uh,
time. He has DRS on Caesar. Caesar protecting the inside. VFX has to go on the right, and will be have the break on the lane. And VFX pushing him to the edges of the track. VFX, let's see if someone does back out. They are going side by side through this section.
no, see,
Redstone watching
Caesar,
patiently, and
Caesar
they
will stay
survive
ahead.
to.
It's the better move. It's the better move to let Caesar go because now the back straight. This one is harder to defend right now. So once again, I think VFix will have DRS on this straight as well.
Yeah,
Yes,
VFX
he
will have DRS,
does.
but I don't think it's close enough to make the move on this lap. And further behind,
I
Abhishek and Chips have also caught up to this trio of the cars who are fighting. So this will be an interesting
yes,
battle
a
as
track.
Basil
Basil
now
meanwhile sets fastest lap.
within 5 tenths of Blood X Wave. And
Yeah,
VFX once again in DRS. Can he make the move into
I
turn
think,
one?
yeah. No, turn one is a very risky overtaking spot. It's basically 2022 Sebastian Vettel, Mick Schumacher territory. If it goes even a tiny bit wrong, you could overtake, but you'd need to be absolutely side by side with the guy in front. Meanwhile, VFX trying every line possible to get ahead of Caesar. Caesar, look, he's doing a good job of defending, but what this is doing is it's just allowing Jishnu to pull a small gap. At this point, the better strat for Caesar could be to let VFX go because he's on a much
Oh,
different strat
Redstone
right
so
now.
close. Redstone to the rear wing of VFX, but now they have
This
separated, and let's see if VFX can make a move. This time he's well alongside, but is he going to get ahead of Caesar in the braking zone? Caesar will brake late once again, but VFX sweeps across
But
the
VFX
right
is ahead.
and has
Oh, that
taken
was a beautiful
the
overtake right there
position.
by VFX. This puts Caesar into pressure, but Caesar will now be thankful to VFX because Caesar will have DRS to defend with. So we'll see how much faster the
Here
medium
goes
tires are
Basil,
right
here
now.
goes Basil. This is for the lead of the race on Blood X Wave, and Basil completes the move before
That's a
even the
very
braking
clean
zone
overtake.
starts.
That's a very clean overtake there by Basil. A lot of overspeed right there helping him do it. And meanwhile, Caesar will. If I were Caesar, I'd just continue to trail VFix because as long as I'm getting DRS, Redstone behind can't do much. So, and now VFix, look at that. You can just, in the next 2 laps, I want to observe the gap between Jishnu and VFix because now it's going to start coming down. Because VFix is now, his only challenge is to start gapping the people behind him. So that should be interesting. Meanwhile, Redstone trying to go for a move on Caesar. He tries going down the inside. Caesar covers it off very, very well. And right now, Redstone might be getting a bit frustrated. He might be telling Caesar, get a move on, but Caesar literally can't because he's limited by the tires of his time. So, yeah.
I think Redstone might be
Meanwhile,
in a very good position. He's got a good exit there, Redstone. And he is close,
he will
but
have
Caesar, of
DRS.
course, has
So does
DRS.
Caesar's DRS as well. So right now, VFix is in prime position for one reason is that his championship rival is 2 positions down on him. So, yeah, I mean, the situation favors VFix right now. I don't know who. Oh, Caesar is now 1 second behind VFix though, so this could be the point at which Redstone starts closing in. Because the gap to Jishnu and VFix, look at the gap between Jishnu and VFix. It's already gone down from 3.5 to 3.1 seconds right now. And Redstone has gotten past Caesar. Yes, he has. Blood X Wave, meanwhile, not able to make much indents into Basil's lead. But that could all be tactical, as long as you stay within DRS, you pressurize the guy by, I don't know, trying to go for an undercut that fulfills. And for the first time in a long time, Malav, I think we're going to see the 2 championship rivals race with each other because it's not happened much this season. So,
Yeah, there have
always
been
a welcome
races where
sight
they have
in
been on different strategies, different parts of the track, ultimately sharing the podiums a
different
few times, I'm
incidents,
sure,
different
and different
incidents.
incidents. But Redstone within DRS of the Ferrari, and he will get that slipstream effect as well as the rear wing flap being open on
Uh,
this back straight. That's going to help him.
There's something I've noticed in Miami is that the slipstream effect is not that strong. For some reason, I don't know if it's a track issue, if it's a coding issue, but the slipstream effect in Miami is not as strong as you'd expect it to be.
Well, maybe then
I'm
Redstone
not
is
sure
crazy
about.
fast because he gained almost 3 to 4 tenths on that straight alone. And riding on
Or
board
is
is
VFix not using battery?
yeah, that's also likely. I think
It,
Redstone is not going to make a move on this straight. Meanwhile, Blood X Wave on the back of Basil, and this is going to be a retake of the lead for Blood X Wave as he breaks late and has completed the move. So that is
I
him
think
up into P1.
right now the
Basil!
top two. Oh, Basil has
Basil!
spun.
Spins out and he's
Basil
lost
has.
his wing.
Oh my God, he's lost his wing. Oh,
And
there's
that's
a
a
safety
safety
car.
car. That's a safety car.
Oh no, 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 the Tottenham of drivers.
So yeah, Basil
But I
into
was just
P3,
gonna,
but he's gonna get the
and now
benefit
he'll
of the
have to
safety
pit.
car. So
Yeah,
that
he'll have
has
to pit for
limited
hard
his
tires
damage.
now.
And I don't know, can the Hearts go to the end from here on?
The hards, there'll be 3 laps on the safety car 20. Yeah, they could, but you'd have to nurse them towards the end. So the better strategy at this point is to just, chuck on another pair of mediums and hope for another safety car. Because if you put on hards right now, you're more or less locking yourself into into a one-stop race. Because, well, it's been a boon for Khrushchev as well, who had to pit on lap one, remember? So now he'll make up the time that he's essentially lost. What I was going to say before Basil crashed was Basil and Blood X Wave fighting with each other was helping the pack behind because they were losing time to the pack rather than gaining on them. And at that point, it was a much better bet to just, continue with the pecking order so that you could increase your gap as much as possible. I doubt anyone's gonna pit right now except Azun because I don't know, Azun loves boxing a lot and he has boxed. Look at that, Malav. What did I say?
Yeah, that's typical Azun. And Vintage player will stay out. Hopefully, do not go in. Vintage will be lapped. That's
Maybe if he had someone in party chat to ask that if I pit now, will I get lapped? Maybe it would have helped him.
yeah. Let's not go there.
VFix
But
into pits as well. Everyone is pitting. Top runners are pitting.
no,
Caesar
Jishnu
can't
stayed
pit though
out.
because he's on hard tires. Jishnu
Just
and Caesar can't pit because they're on hard tires.
yep, on the hard tires, and
So
I think all medium runners are
VFix
pitting. Let's see what Manan
automatically.
does. It should be coming in
VFX
at this
automatically
rate.
will gain the VFX will gain the position on Basil because Basil has to get a front wing change as well. Now
So
the
his
interesting part about this is that PSI Legends is ahead of VFix and PSI has a 5-second penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So when PSI does spit, he'll lose those. He'll have to stop for 5 seconds extra because that's the way the game works. So we'll see. For the first time in a long time, this order is getting jumbled up. Right now, Blood X Wave has the advantageous position because he knows the front three are going to pit in front of him. If VFix wants to race Blood X Wave as fast as possible, he's going to have to clear PSI as soon as he can. And it's not a simple task to clear PSI. That's all that I'm going to say.
and these two have history. Remember in Miami, that was lap one. I think it was last season. I'm not entirely sure, where the two of them
I
had an
think
incident. And
yes.
yeah,
I'll revisit that incident at some point later in the race. If we get a second safety car, viewers, I'm going to revisit that incident. All right.
well, you can
But
do
for now,
that
let's
now
just
because we've
concentrate
got
on.
time. I think the safety car might just stay out for one more lap. So if you can narrate it within that time period of
So what
approximately
happened
two
was,
plus minutes. Yeah.
yeah. So what happened was that VFix was on pole last time in Miami, PSI was on P2, and it was an inters race. So what ended up happening as a result of that was at turn one, PSI horribly outbraked himself, which forced VFix to go completely outside the track. And then, because even though he illegally gained the position, PSI was weaving in front of him because that was his way of letting VFix know that it's safe to pass. But of course, how would anyone even understand that? So VFix then got close to him, and then Sai said that since he doesn't want to pass, he started racing him for position at that point. So yeah, I mean, I'm speechless. Is all I'll say about that incident. The sheer logic of it, 2 plus 2 does not always equal to 4. That is what I learned from that scenario.
Yeah, if someone is weaving in front of me, I would never in my wildest dreams imagine that they are signaling me to, get past.
Get past me.
But yeah. Anyway, so Vintage is lapped, and that's a shame. And again, that's something Jen we can discuss about a new game. I don't think this is a feature, at least not published, that lapped cars can unlap themselves under the safety car. But it's high time they bring in that feature because it's just
really high time.
stupid.
It's really high time they do because it's so stupid that if you're a lapped car, you have to stick behind. the safety car because it doesn't make any sense. It's
I
not in
mean,
the rules of
lap cars
actual F1.
being able to unlap themselves literally decide championships. I don't understand why that's not a feature which has been a rule. I'm sure for years gone by.
The only possible thing I could think of is this. Suppose you're in P1 and you get a glitch where you overtake the safety car, but then you just keep on extending the lead, and then you're like one lap ahead of everyone by the time the safety car comes in and you win the race. How would anyone ever penalize that? Because it's the game's fault. It's not your fault for doing it. And if
Yep.
you can't stay stationary for a lap as well, because then you just bring out another safety car. So.
Either ways, I think the safety car should be coming in at the end of this lap. We don't have the confirmation, or do we?
I think we'll get the confirmation in 5 seconds. Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
I was going
there
to
you
say
go.
5 seconds, but it just showed up there.
Yeah, there you go. So the hard tire runners, and there are plenty of them on the grid so far, will have to weave. And you can see that beautiful shot of all the cars, or almost all the cars, in that's a China-esque shot right there. But here we go for the restart. You can see you can see vintage player
Look at
being the
Abhishek.
Kimi there, not weaving at all because he knows he'll have to. And Jeshwa's gone already. He has caught a few people by surprise, and he has to be careful.
Yeah, he has. He has caught a lot of people by surprise. I think as far as tire heating up goes, I don't
Who's
know
that?
what's
Hushrav has lost it and has lost a position to Basil, who climbs up to P9. Blood Wave has gone past Abhishek's. So both the Red Bulls having terrible restarts.
unlike the real life domination of the Red Bulls. This. I mean, it would be interesting if RL were to hand out seats based on the real life constructors classification, but then that would mean that it would be a long time before VFix got to drive a Ferrari.
Oh, VFX is
So, yeah.
trying to just go past PSI. This is painful to watch as Redstone is alongside him, and this is going to be. Oh, Redstone, what a move! He's gonna get 2 for the price of 1 here. And can URL Basil get himself in the mix? VFX has to ensure he gets PSI. Basil overbreaks himself. And wow.
VFix
That
has
was
gotten past
something.
Sai as well. VFix
VFX
did get
has
past
gotten
Sai.
past. That's a good one. That was important for him. It was race critical and championship critical for VFX, to quote engineer of Nico Rosberg, who I don't know who that was back in 2016. But VFX very crucially.
Sai, something
just
has
behind.
happened. He's just letting. Why is he letting people past? I don't understand.
And he's not
this.
even weaving. So there you go. Basil is past him as well.
Now the challenge for Hushrav is this: the guys in front of him are on 6-lap pressured hard tires than he is. Even if he somehow manages to make up all the time to them, he still has to pit again because his tires are going to be on puncture territory by the end of the race.
Oh, there's a yellow flag
There's a yellow
somewhere.
flag. That's vintage. Is that vintage?
Yeah, that
No,
is
that was a
vintage.
Haas.
Oh.
That is vintage.
That
Yes,
is
there's only one
vintage.
Haas on track.
Well, now let's see what Caesar can do. He was within 3 tenths of Jishnu for the lead of the race, and behind him is Blood Wave. Completely different
I don't
strategies for the
think-
Aston Martin. So,
Yes. Caesar, Blood Wave driving more like the Alonso of the team right now.
wow, that's a violation right there. And you might be just kicked from the server, Jin, for saying. But don't worry, I've gotten away with saying much worse things for Caesar. Here we go. This is really hampering Blood Wave's race. He's on the fresh tires, and there are 2 cars that have not pitted. Oh, Blood Wave almost losing it out of that chicane. And this is
He needs to
bringing
be
the likes
calm
of
right now.
this is bringing the likes of Redstone and VFX back in the mix.
Hushrav, I feel like Hushrav, while
Yes,
he could
Nova
get
will do
close to
that.
the people in front of him, he will struggle because, well, as I said, 9-lap-old hards. And Basil is on Hushrav right now. I think he might have gotten the move done. I'm not 100% certain.
No,
Not
Hushrav
yet.
does defend the inside. And wow, something
Abhishek's
happened to Abhishek.
Yeah, I think he lost the car momentarily. Otherwise, it's impossible for anyone to.
And he's
pull off
gonna
an
get
overtake
overtaken
like
by
he
his teammate Hushrav. Abhishek won't fight him as much, but he might fight Basil. Let's see what happens. Baz trying to get his Williams through, but he has to stay behind. And instead of overtaking Hushrov, Baz has lost a position to him, and Hushrov has put a car between himself and Baz. Now, Blood
This
X-Wave
is
on
in
Caesar. This should not be taking this long, and Aston Martins have to play the team game here. Caesar, of course, is still in the championship technically. If he wins tonight, he's still in the championship hunt. But here goes Blood X-Wave. There's no DRS yet, and Caesar, I believe,
no,
would not
there
be
is
fighting
DRS.
it.
There is DRS on this lap.
Oh, there is DRS on it.
The
Was just
DRS got active,
activated.
yeah.
And yeah, Blood X-Wave is up into P2. Further behind, Abhishek has
Basil.
lost.
Oh, Basil.
Oh,
Oh, my
Baz.
God, Basil. Oh, wow. That was a mega outbreak into that corner right there.
Yeah, but both of them were off the
Redstone-
track, so something must have happened, which we missed.
Yeah, so meanwhile, look at that. Redstone and VFix are both close down on Caesar now. Both of them will have DRS on each other, courtesy of Mercurial Caesar once again. Caesar has DRS on Blood X-Wave. Redstone has DRS because of Caesar. And VFix has DRS because of Redstone. So it's LHS equals RHS going on right now.
Ethan gets past PSI meanwhile, and Caesar now will be hoping to stay within his teammates' DRS so that he doesn't get overtaken. But here goes Redstone Dub. He might be going for a move here. Has to go for the
No,
outside.
it's-
Caesar squeezes him, but that's just about fair.
That's
And this
good
is deja
defensive
vu.
move there by
Then.
Caesar. This is deja vu, but the only change is the tire conditions have now been flipped aside. So, in choosing to start on the hards, while the safety car came a bit too early for Caesar's liking, had it come 7 laps later, he would have been in a much better spot than this.
Yeah, something happened
What
to
this is
Sonic Rock.
doing?
Either way,
I'm
it
not
is Redstone,
sure.
and he's already passed, or he's just about to. Yes, he is on Caesar. Can VFix make way as well? No, I don't think he's close enough. Or unless Caesar lets him by as well. Caesar, no, I don't think he's gonna doing any favors to either of them. And this time it's going to be a deja vu once again. Down the inside goes VFX, and he has made the mistake once again. Very important for VFX, and is doing exactly what he needs to do, ensuring that Redstone doesn't put a car between himself.
Yeah,
And-
a little Basil 3 second right there. I think VFix went a little argy-bargy there with Caesar, but from my POV, I mean, I'm not going to
Nah, I think
commentate.
it was-
Don't take my
no, I
word.
think it was
as-
fair.
It was just about fair.
Yeah, just about fair. He was trying to put his nose in, and he had just about enough space to get past. Basil on
Much like,
Hushraf.
much like Indian relatives do in one's personal life. He was trying to put his nose in places, and yeah, that worked out for him in this
Well,
regard.
but the difference being that this time the nose did belong, unlike
Yeah.
the relatives where they have no business. But either way, Basil on Hushraf, and clearly you can see the tire difference.
What's been surprising to me is that Blood X Wave with his tire difference hasn't been able to make inroads on Jishnu yet.
Well, this time
So
he's very
the
close.
longer this-
Oh, PSI Legends has spun, I believe. I don't want to go there because this is going to be an overtake for the lead, maybe. Blood X Wave on the back
Not
of
yet,
this
not yet.
one.
It's gonna be on the back straight. It has to be the back straight.
But he's using his battery
Blood
and is
X Wave-
deploying everything he can to get past the
He'll be very
McLaren.
close. He'll be very close. I think Jishnu still has the better line. Oh, that was close. And yeah, he got the move done. So now, Jishnu will, in turn, I think this is the time when he gives DRS to Redstone. If he can be close enough. Yes, he is close enough. So Redstone will also get DRS. VFix will be left without DRS right now.
Yeah, and Hussain is lagging big time. So is Basil. So I'm not sure how these two are viewing each other's
I
cars.
don't think they're racing from UK, right? So for each other they aren't lagging.
Yeah, here we go. Basil on. Oh, Hussain lagged once again. Oh, he lagged big time once again. This is scary. But Baz has to stay behind. This is a good battle between two of them. And of course, Husrav, who is. Well, oh, Redstone is past Jishnu. I don't think Jishnu really fought it that much. He will fight VFix though, that's for sure. As URL Ethan
And
gets
Blood
past
X
the
Wave is
business.
spun. Blood X
Oh,
Wave is
Blood
spun. Blood X
X-Wave.
Wave is spun.
No, after taking pole and driving a good race, he has thrown it in the bin. And, well, yeah. That is sad, but still almost halfway through the race, just about halfway distance covered. So a lot of time for him to, and thankfully I don't think he has damage Codex Wave, so we can
Yeah, I
still
don't
keep
think
his
he has
card
damage,
remaining.
but it's still problematic though what happened to him. Now the interesting thing here is that Jishnu does have to pit,
And
and
here goes
Caesar is
Basil.
behind him.
Here goes Basil, and is it going to be an overtake this time for him?
Yes, it
Basil
is.
just
He got the
and
card in. That's a good move. Now here's the interesting thing about for Jishnu. Jishnu is racing Caesar because they are on the same and Hushrav. Now, the longer that he spends fighting VFix, the more inroads is giving to Caesar to make a difference.
VFX is very close to
So,
Jishnu, by the way. So VFX might just use his battery to get past the McLaren and once again be directly behind. Redstone VFX has the inside line and he has the better tires, but he can get the track position. Jishnu will try to fight it
no, he
round the
can't.
outside. He has the position, but VFX might have to use battery once again if he wants to get past, but he concedes and will stay
No,
in.
Redstone is doing an extremely smart thing. He's keeping Jishnu in the DRS. Without DRS for Jishnu, that move would have been done and dusted before this sequence of corners even came through.
And this is a Leclerc Magnussen battle between Basil and Hushrav, and Hushrav is passed, and Hushrav
Has
is
he?
DNF'd. Oh, someone is DNF'd, or no one has
No,
DNF'd in
Hushrav
fact.
hasn't DNF. No one has
But
DNF. No one has DNF.
Hushrav losing traction there, and that's a safety car once again just for that crash.
So now, Jishnu is effectively gonna pit on mediums. He
Yeah,
has
so
track
we'll see.
position.
So
Redstone is gonna pit on mediums. VFix has to pit on mediums. Otherwise, so everyone now can pit on mediums and finish it. Can you just check what Ethan's tire situation is? Because I'm 100% positive he's starting on hards, but I just want to check through once again.
well, let's have a look in the race director for UR. Where is the race director? Okay, URL Ethan. Yes, he did start on hards. So if he has a fresh set of mediums, he can do that. Abhishek has left the session. Let's hope he can join back. But where were these safety cars, Jane, yesterday when we were crying out for loud for those safety cars? By the way, Basil, just no, I don't, Jen, I don't know if you're still here. Basil
I'm here.
has
I'm here.
no front wing.
Again, I think that incident with Hushrav, I think Hushrav got some damage on his front wing as well. So
Let's see
yeah,
what the
Hushrav doesn't
top
have an
people
end plate
do.
on his right
Redstone
hand
stays
side.
out. Jishnu will be coming in. VFix stays out. And Caesar,
Okay,
of course, will
so
be coming in. Let's see what
interesting
Bloodexcel does.
move,
Bloodexcel
interesting
stays
move,
out.
interesting move. I would
Yeah,
much rather have taken the chance to pit because you're not going to lose any positions by pitting. It made more sense to pit for VFix right there because Redstone stayed out.
yeah.
So
So
you
once
already
Redstone
knew
stayed
that.
out, VFix could have done the opposite to him, but I'm assuming VFix didn't want to lose out to the likes of Bloodexel chips as well behind, and he would have come out behind them. And Sid Venkatesh, well, Sid
See,
Venkatesh might have
he
just
would
gained
have
the
come out
position.
P7. VFix would have come out P7 just behind Jishnu.
Yep.
Now VFix will have to hope for one thing is that how good Blood X-ray chips and easy level bot gets a 3-second penalty under safety car. How
Yeah.
good a defending job these people can do because let's be honest, there could be wisdom in staying out right now because if another safety car comes around like let's say lap 21, 22, it's soft tire territory from right there. And they will have fresh softs because they only did one run as a result of that wet qualification.
Hang on, I'm just sending an invite to Abhishek, who apparently is unable to join in. Well, there you go, Abhishek. If you are listening to this, you have an invite now, and please do join us as soon as you can. The safety car will stay out for one more lap, I believe, so we will have 11 laps of racing left when the safety car eventually comes into the pits. And well, you see most of the grid on the mediums now, except 6 drivers. I'm not sure why Vintage is still on those 9-lap-old mediums. Did he have a chance to? I don't think he would have unlapped himself.
Abhishek has joined.
Yeah, Abhishek has
So
joined.
that's a good
good to
news.
see. Yeah.
So right now, What is going to be interesting is the P6, the person in P6, that is Jishnu. How fast can he make moves happen? Because the safety car will come around and will get racing resumed around lap 19-20. So that leaves us 9 laps worth of action at that point. And
Yep, Nova, same thoughts. Why? But yeah, I think. Oh, what happened between Abhi and Sonic Hawk there? They exchanged positions on the track. That was weird. So let's see when Abhishek can take control of his car. Is still ghosted because the AI is doing the driving for him, and we'll see when his car becomes solid. There you go, Abhishek's back in control of his
for
car.
some reason, Malav, I noticed that PSI hasn't pit yet.
Well, what is he up to, PSI? I don't understand the Division 1 bit.
I think he's not doing it because if he serves a 5-second penalty under safety cars for ignoring yellow flag, then it doesn't get removed.
But
Possibly.
does he do the math? I mean, he's an engineer, right?
Well, I mean,
he's gonna do a pit stop under green flag conditions and lose a heap of time just to save those 5 seconds.
I mean, have you played Monopoly with him?
No, I haven't, and I think I've been saved some graces by not doing so. But either ways, I think the safety car should be coming in at the end of this lap. Vintage player is retired, and that is on track, so he crashed out maybe somewhere. Let's see.
Maybe possibly Arjun could give us a better view of things. Yeah. Safety car in this lap?
Yeah, safety car is in. And it is Redstone and VFX, the usual suspects who will be leading the field.
I'll be very honest though, the safety car saved Bloodx Wave big time.
Yeah, it did.
So, yeah.
And it would have been thankful for that safety car. He has the pace to win. Oh, Hushram has crashed out.
Oh,
and that was on the halfway through the straight. How did that happen?
I have no clue what happened there, mate.
You see the Red Bull in the distance there, but either ways, I think we have to get racing soon, and I think Redstone has just about gone now. And
not the best of safety car restarts though, because I think this is the predictable way to restart around Miami. So we'll see. I think the way Redstone gains time on VFix, it looks like he has a better, more loaded downforce setup, if that makes sense. Meanwhile, Bloodx is very close to VFix. I think VFix is not using battery right now, and Bloodx Wave is. So interesting.
And look at the gap Redstone has pulled out. 1.2 seconds already, and if VFix is not careful, he will stretch that lap. And if VFix is not careful, Bloodx Wave might be onto him. He's already onto him, and he's deploying the battery. URL Ethan and PSI exchanging positions. VFX will have to go into a defensive maneuver here, and Bloodx Wave trying to outbrake him.
Bloodx Wave is not close enough to pull them over.
And should be getting involved, and there is Caesar around the outside of Sidby.
Yeah, he got him. So now Jishnu and Chips are. There's another.
Oh, Manan.
Manan retired from.
That could be a safety car.
Shadow also retired from session.
And it is. What is happening, guys? And Abhishek has no front wing.
It has to be soft tires. It has to be soft tires. There's no other way to go about it.
If PSI doesn't pit now,
this is soft tire territory though, Malav, because there's going to be 3 laps. It's going to be soft tires. If you stay out on hards, there's no way you can keep charging soft tire runners from overtaking you.
I think they might still stay out. Yes, they are staying out, and I think I understand why. What about the rest of the pack? Sid is
just pit, so they have no. Sid will pit for softs.
PSI stay. Oh my god, PSI. I have watched everything, and I have seen stranger things happen.
PSI, yeah, there's been 4 seasons of that. Yeah, anyways, has PSI has PSI pit already, Maluf? Could you just check that for me, please?
No, he hasn't, because it shows 19 laps on his hards, and we are on lap 20 right now, so he hasn't pit.
I do not understand the logic whatsoever right now by Sai to not pit.
Right, so the people at the back have gone on the softs. Abhishek has gone on mediums. Uh, Instead, Venkatesh has gone on softs. Azun has gone on mediums. So this is gonna be interesting. And well, that's the third safety car. So Noah, thank you for that. That Panote. And Chips says hello in the comments. Chips, how are you doing? And wow, Chips in P4, not bad at all. That's a good position for him.
Chips don't lie, bro. Chips don't lie. Yeah. Let's see though. If any driver has made me question anything in life, it's PSI Legends. Because right now I'm not understanding the logic behind it, and I know if he is gonna join party later that he will try to explain it, but it's gonna be from a place where even beings in the fourth dimension couldn't comprehend as to why this strategy is the one that he's on.
I mean,
So
I
yeah,
think it's
we'll see.
unfair to call it a strategy. I mean, strategy deserves better rationale, better, thinking or thought. What he's doing is just nuts. It's not a strategy. Let's see if he's coming in. Now he's PSI Legends. The man, the myth, and the non-legend does come into the pits and goes on to a set of mediums. Wow, PSI, that is just. Well, you think someone will keep, disappointing you, and they don't disappoint because they disappoint.
It's
If
like
that
that
makes
meme,
sense.
man loses last bit of hope he didn't
Hope
even have.
I did know. Yeah, that's me right now. I expect some uh, smart decision or non-foolish decision from him, but I guess I am foolish to expect that. Either ways, the safety car should be in this lap, and I really hope there are no more safety cars, and we can get those 8 laps of racing.
You never know, because
Yeah, I know I never know, but
the reason why
that's
safety cars are coming out right now is because people have a tire advantage. So as long as the tire advantage is there on the grid, there'll be there's much more space for audacious moves than if everybody was on the same tire right now. So keeping that in mind, the probability for a mistake goes up rather than down.
no, I agree
Because
with
if I
you.
was a medium
I
tire,
just hope
if I
that
was
these
a
drivers
medium
can
tire
keep it
runner
clean.
right now, yes, if I was a medium tire runner right now, I'd actually like to take a bit of time just to assess where I'm stronger than the other person. Yes, if overtake pops up, it pops up, but don't try to force the issue, is all that I'm going to say about it.
Here it goes. And the safety car is. Come
Now,
on.
3, 2, 1. Now,
There you go. That was
there
time to
we go.
perfection, Jin. But yes, it is the third safety car restart. Nova just back in time for that. And we have 15 drivers now. So let's see. Vicky in the comments. Hello, Vicky. Long time no see. Hushraf has, Restaurant has really brought it to a halt, and now I think he has gone. This is gonna be fun. Cold hard tires for the
This,
people ahead, and it's been a smooth restart. Caesar very close to just to. Sonic Hawk has lost a position, and Azun and Sid
so
Venkatesh.
yeah, I can see it from here itself, the issues with VFix's setup. VFix's is a very low downforce setup. So in a non-DRS zone, while it does give him slightly more advantage, in a DRS zone, I mean, in these corners, it's always going to be Redstone will be out in front because of what setup compromise he has chosen. Miami is a track of setup compromises. And yeah, as such, this is the best we can get. Because right now, let's see, Redstone has extended lead by a second. Blood X is half a second behind VFix, so he's not gonna be close to make a move right now. But as long as you stay within DRS, all possibilities are always open to you.
And what a send by Caesar on Ethan, who overtook him just before the back straight started. Caesar back into P6, and he has chips ahead of him, chips on the hard tires, of course, so he will be a bit vulnerable. and Redstone has a healthy gap of 1 second already. So I'm not sure. Jane, if you can help me understand. Oh,
There's
Abhi!
another.
Abhi's just going slow.
Buddy,
Yeah, he's
yeah,
just
yeah,
letting
no, no,
people
but he's
through.
gotten.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
letting
so
people
see
through.
on the straight itself, VFix just gained 2.5 tenths. So you can see where the setup compromise is coming through. But unless he is close enough to be in the DRS, it's basically gonna be, it's not gonna work. It's not
Yeah.
the 2023, it's not the 2023 Red Bull where it's like, and there's another Sector 3, something
Yeah,
happened.
that's Sonic Hawk. Oh, that's Sid Venkatesh. Yep, Sid Venkatesh is not entirely sure what happened there. And yeah, so back to this battle between Caesar and Chips. Chips defending well so far. Caesar did try to overtake down the inside at the penultimate corner. Oh, what a send by
Ethan, oh,
Ethan!
what a
That
send
was
by
out of
Ethan.
nowhere. Well, it didn't really work out. But now Easy Level Bot is in the mix as well, and this is going to get very hairy, honestly,
I
because
just hope I just hope easy level bot breaks properly because last time around Baku while he was racing well there were a lot of issues with his braking points, so it caused a lot more incidents than I would have liked to see on a good weekend. So I just hope that, because he is an ABS off player as well. This the second one in this lobby. The other one, of course, being VFix. So it's very interesting to see because Miami has so many heartbreaking points, and meanwhile, I think Basil has gotten his nose alongside easy level, but he's chosen to stay behind for now.
yeah, behind him, Abhishek is. No, it's not Abhishek. It's Azun who's there, and can any of them make a move? Can Basil get through? No, he cannot, and has to stay behind in P9. For Baz
Jishnu, meanwhile,
V6,
is will get DRS provided he stays within the range right now. After turn one, usually Redstone pulls off by 1.5 tenths, which he hasn't done this time. No, he has. He does have the gap right now. Now it's interesting because Blood X-Wave cannot make a move because Jishnu is also behind him. So it's going to be interesting to see how Blood X-Wave manages his position because he has to be very careful about how he goes about it. The only place where VFix is gaining is Sector 3 right now. At the end of Sector 2 is where he
oh, he's gonna
starts
send it
gaining.
again,
And
Ethan. Oh, and was it Jishnu? Yeah, it is Jishnu was round who spun.
well,
And
I
Basil
mean,
might make a move on Ethan here. Ethan is
that's
trying
one
to
way
make a move.
that's one way to make for an anticlimactic ending.
Oh, he's getting swallowed up here, Chips. But he's doing perfectly there. Oh, there's contact. Oh, there's 2 by 2 there in that section. I really don't want to see this. Oh, and they are
Oh,
round.
Caesar!
Caesar is round. Oh, there's further
Safety
contact.
car!
Oh, please don't say that.
Safety
Please.
car!
No, 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 no. Please, no. And yeah, thankfully. But yeah, I mean, unlucky for Caesar. Ethan on the back of Chips. And it's going to be an easy move for Ethan here. He will be
I'd very
up
much
into
in yes,
P4.
I'd very much in Tiamat Marduk's voice. I'd like to say something, 2 words: championships over for Caesar. But yeah, right now as we see, VFix has DRS on Redstone, so he's closing down and down. We cannot show it on telemetry on the stream because we don't want other drivers to get an undue advantage about these things. But I'm actually interested to know what the battery situation with VFix and Redstone is. So I'm going to check it. I'm not going to say anything about it. Oh, all right, all right. Now it's more understandable though about why things are the way they are. That's all that I'm going to say. Uh, so yeah, 4 more laps of racing to go. VFix still a second behind. Blood X Wave kind of falling behind, as you can see that on our race time sheet. So
Blood X Wave losing touch. So is VFix, both of them barely in the DRS of the car in front. Oh, Easylevel bot. What happened there? He collided with the wall, but he's going to make the move on Azun. Azun tries to hang it around the outside and has been spun by Easylevel bot. And Jishnu is. Oh, what are they doing? No, wait, this is
a
a
safety
safety
car.
car. No, no, it's not a safety car, it's a VSC right now. And please don't be a safety car. Easy Bot has lost his entire front wing. And it's a VSC. And it
I mean,
stays
it's
a
worth a
VSC.
gamble for. if it was a safety car, I'm pretty sure one of the top three would have gambled onto a set of softs. Of this, I can assure you. But even now, the
Nah, I
gamble
don't
was
think
possible.
anyone would have.
You just have to start from P4 and then hope that you'd make up a lot of time. There's not enough
Oh,
laps
chips
left
has
to
spit.
justify
Chips
that.
spitting, and a few others spitting because they have damage. Not sure about chips. Does he have damage as well? We are
I
still
hope
under
no one
VSC.
gets a
This is a
drive.
very long virtual safety car. Chips has a
I
wing
hope no one
change.
gets a. I hope no one gets a drive through.
You didn't really have to say that. As he says, PSI boxed again, so he didn't need to box this time, but he does. And when it, oh yes,
Mercurius season.
Caesar, what are you doing? This guy's clapping. Imagine, definitely getting kicked out. But look at that gap.
But look at
VFX
how
three
close
tenths.
VFX timed it absolutely to perfection. Now on the back straight is when the move should start. This is a golden chance. This is almost like last year. Remember Jeddah when Max pulled the safety BSC to perfection on Leclerc?
Yeah, I remember that as Noah. Yes, I have to remember doing that, Noah. But now VFix will have DRS. I think he's a bit too far to make a move stick, but he will get the benefit of DRS and save his battery. In fact, he's using his battery, but he stays, of course, well
No,
within
there's gonna be
sight.
another DRS zone for him right now. So maybe that's why the goal is to get as close as possible in this circumstance.
Yeah, and three more
It
laps
must
to go,
be
so it doesn't need to be now. The move can wait for a lap or two, but it's important for VFix to ensure that he has enough battery after the move is done.
in my opinion, the move will happen on the second last lap, but for that VFix has to be around three tenths behind Redstone.
You can see in the
Because
first
if you're not
sector,
three tenths
Redstone
behind, yeah.
really pushing the boundaries here and is gapping VFX. Has pulled out a 4/10 gap already. And this is where VFX is losing out. Look at the gap constantly increasing. It will come back down once they're on the back straight, but by then, look at it, 1 second and VFX might not have DRS. Does he get
This
DRS? No, I don't think he
is
does.
no, he does not get DRS, but
Redstone doing just about enough. Pull out, I think, more than 5/10 gap. And
I
wow,
think that was a
that's
lot of ERS usage. That was a lot of ERS usage
yeah,
to
but that
do
was
that
smart
because
ERS usage from Redstone.
that is
Easy level
smart
bot.
ERS usage. 3 more laps to go, but now VFix will come back at him with DRS on this back straight again. And I think the plan for VFix would be to make sure look at how much he's gained in that second and third sector. Even if we factor in that Redstone made up half a second, now he's
And
blinking. Redstone is blinking. He has no DRS left, ERS left whatsoever. Meanwhile, BloodX Wave has kind of checked out of this leading pack because he's fallen behind by a lot. So, it's very interesting. Ferrari versus Mercedes. Ferrari power, Scuderia versus AMG power right now. As you go, as
that's two
Hamilton
laps.
once said, just 2 more laps to go, and Redstone had a moment there coming
Yeah,
out
he
of
had a
turn 2.
moment. And that
I
means
think,
V6 might have a real chance on the back straight. Redstone has not
I
had
think
the
it's
advantage he usually does on the
in
in the first sector, but once again is doing just about enough. Can V6 really send it this time? I think will be a tough
chips. Meanwhile,
ask.
with the fastest lap,
And V6 using every last bit of
129.6.
battery he has. Redstone is flashing and V6 is committed to it. This time he is completely committed to it and he is going for it. He
This
has the DRS and this is going to be very, very close between the two of them. Redstone has the inside line. V6 tries to hang it around the outside. Does not get an opportunity to do the switchback move, but on the back straight, can VFX be close enough in this tight section of the track and make the move as they will be on the last lap after this? HEP, it is
VFX
Redstone
isn't.
leading VFX by 1 point, and this is the second last race. VFX on the back of Redstone once again. I think he's too far back. Jen to make a move is
Yeah, and
gaining a lot
both
though,
of them.
and he might have to just send it. VFX, and he does not send it. We have to stay with this battle while the rest of the field sorts itself out, and this is a very good penalty by Trace. Vicky just, stop talking at this point. Right.
This
We,
is interesting. Both And whoever pit on the mediums, it didn't really work out for them because look at how much Ethan has dropped back to Blood X Wave now. So
Oh,
not the
once
smartest
again,
of
Redstone
plays.
doing his thing in Sector 1. And
I think yeah, this is Redstones to take because if both of them are flashing, you know, that means that
well, does VFX
DRS
not use
maximum
battery
gain.
on this straight and just ensure he's in DRS and then deploys everything he has? He wouldn't have gotten much anyway on the back straight, maybe. It's
That is the
close,
only
VFX.
chance left. That is the only
Well,
chance left.
I'm
Let's see
gonna
what the
stay
gap is.
on board with VFX for the rest of the lap until the last couple of corners. This is going to be very, very close. Get all your warnings you can without getting a 3-second time penalty. And it's a good exit for both of them. VFX hardly 5% battery there. And here we go. Redstone defends the inside like it's his favorite thing in the world. VFX closing in. This is going to be super, super close. VFX. Oh, that was. VFX, I think, pulled out a little bit earlier than he should have from the slipstream. But it is Redstone who's going to win and is going to extend his championship advantage. What a finish! It's hardly a 10 between the two. And further behind is
That
anyone
was
else.
exhilarating. That was exhilarating to see.
Yeah,
Malak, I'm
Baz.
going to take a small break right now. Could you just run the people through it, and I'll be
Yeah,
back in
I
like
will
5 minutes.
do that. Can you, in the meanwhile, invite Redstone VFX and Blood X-Ray to the party while I do that? And I have an echo. Either ways. So, Abhi finishing in P8. Sid Venkatesh just about finishing ahead of Sonic Hawk. Chips finishing P11 with easy level bot in P12. Abhishek's in P13. PSI Legends after a plethora of pit stops in P14, and Mercurial sees unlucky with that drive through but deserved for everything that he does in P15. And then there were four non finishers, of course, in Shadow Sword, Manan, Hushrav, and Vintage Player, causing three safety cars overall in the race. But at the end of the race, it is Redstone who is leading this championship going into the last race, which is Brazil next weekend. Of course, we'll speak to the two drivers as well as Blood X Wave, who had a very deserved podium after getting pole in qualifying, as the constructors is concerned. It is VFX and Gosalia in the Ferrari. Gosalia, of course, not racing tonight, leading Mercedes, which is Azun and Redstone. And Zin, please come back. There's a lot of echo there. Well, let me. All right, I have muted Jin, so Jin, when he's back, Jin, if you can just let me know in the YouTube comment section. As Redstone is here, we'll wait for VFX and Predex Wave. But until then, final rundown of the race results. It is Redstone who has won from VFX, hardly a tenth between the two of them. And then Blood X Wave rounding off the podium with URL Ethan in P4 with Basil in P5, Jishnu in P6, and what a drive from Azun as usual, starting from the last or almost the last place on the grid from P18, finishing in P7. Abhi, what a drive from him, usually keeps out of trouble, and that's what has helped him, finishing in P8, and Sid Venkatesh in P9. So D2 drivers doing well. Sonic Hawk with a point to his name in P10. Chip Sima unlucky because he was running in P4 until the last safety car, but got a lot of damage and got involved in battles in P11. Easy well bought in P12. Appreciates Did not have the best of the drives for the Red Bulls tonight in P13. See them with a drive through in P14, and then the non finishers being Shadow Sword, PSI, Manan, Hushrab, and Vintage. So Redstone is, I think, already here. VFX has joined as well. I'm not sure if Vlodex Wave is gonna join. So Redstone and VFX, if either of you hear Hushrav, let me know. Oh, not Hushrav, Jin, let me know so I can unmute him. There's a lot of echo, which is why I have muted his audio. But let's start with you, VFX. Can you hear me? And I hope your audio sharing is on so people can hear you on the stream as well. Welcome back, first of all. Glad you're okay. And talk us through your
Yeah,
race, especially qualifying, because it wasn't the best of the qualifying for either of you. Of course, interchangeable conditions and timing was very important to set the lap time. But how did that qualifying session feel for you and the rest of the race?
yeah. I mean, quali was it's fun because it's interchangeable conditions. P6, P7. I'd messed up on my last lap a lot, and I did slow down just so I don't invalidate the lap in the middle sector. Otherwise, I think we would have been on for pole. But I can understand, like the other guys, they have nothing to lose really compared to Redstone and I. So yeah, in those sort of quality situations, it's always tricky. And this track anyway is like very weird, low grippy, and so yeah, we out qualified Redstone. That was the goal. Then in the race, we were staying ahead of him, and I feel so bad for the people because you know it's now Redstone's fault. It's not my fault, but there's people here just trying to have their 5 minutes of fame, 5 seconds of fame. To be honest, people who should be in D3, D4. I don't know what these people do, thinking they're actually worthy of driving in Division One. The guy's probably going to comment on this later on, saying I'm salty. But yeah, that we lost the position because of. Well, as Sebastian Vettel once said, there are idiots on the road and there are idiots on track. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah.
Uh,
Right.
But yeah, it was a great fight with Redstone towards the end. And if it was the last race, I probably would have just risked it because there's nothing to lose. But there's still one more event left. And at the end of the day, we're still in with a very good chance. So anything can happen in Brazil as well. So
Absolutely. Going into the
one,
last race, you will be a
yes.
few points behind Redstone. I don't know the IRL point system even now, so I don't know how many points that will be.
I think it's like
But
5.
16 and 12, so it's
oh,
five
so
points
five
heading
points.
into the last round.
Right.
So
Got it.
basically, if he wins with fastest lap, I don't know how it factors in because I don't know about the other positions that have happened. But if he wins with fastest lap in the last race, then VFix and Redstone will end tied on points, provided Redstone also finishes P2.
Right. That's going to be very interesting in Brazil, and I hope the weather hits the track, so that should be fun to watch.
The
But Jin,
famous
any
Brazilian
questions?
weather.
The famous Brazilian. Jin, any questions for VFX before we move on to Redstone?
Uh, I don't have any questions for him because I have a very good idea about what happened in the race and how. I mean, it's very rare that you see two players, two drivers, of such equal race pace come together with each other. So a 1/10 gap isn't really a 1/10 gap in that case, and it was almost like more than Formula One. This felt like watching a Formula E race because how close it was towards the end. I think it's one of the closest finishing margins we've ever had in IRL without a 5 second penalty being factored in towards the end or anything like that. So props to VFX for this brilliant, brilliant drive. But yeah, I mean, stuff happens in racing, and we're probably going to hear a lot of the better part of this conversation later on in party chat. So yeah, I'm just saving it for
Can't
then.
wait. Can't wait. Right. Moving on to Redstone, our winner for the day, taking, I believe, his sixth win of the season.
Yes, it's his sixth win of the season. It's his sixth win of the season. But one of the hard fought wins that he had because he qualified P7, as far as I remember.
Yep.
Redstone, before I begin asking you anything, I'd just like to say two things first. First is thank you for donating a sum of money which made sure that VFix could be racing with you today. Number one, thank you for that. Number two, thank you for your DNFs in the last two races, which have kept the championship very interesting till this point. Yeah, so thanks goes to both of
In
that.
how many ways Redstone will help VFix? This is a very wholesome title battle we're having right now. Not used to that in IRL.
We haven't even collided yet, by the way. Like we have literally not touched
Yeah,
bumper.
guys, come on, do something. You have expectations to live up to. But either
No,
way,
I
yeah,
prefer
Redstone,
if
what
it
a
was
drive.
still no contact. Yeah.
No, but
Yeah,
yeah,
but
brilliant drive, Redstone.
that was a well managed race. I'd like to ask you a couple of questions regarding the race. Number one, at any point when the second safety car happened, did you think about pitting onto the mediums, or was staying out on hards going to be your best bet at that junction?
To be really honest, like I was a little indecisive about what I was going to do. I had a lot of help from everyone else in the party trying to guide me with the ideal strategy, and staying out on hards came out as the priority, and I just stuck to it and drove the best race I feel so far.
Yeah,
And firstly,
that's
before anything, I'm really glad your entire family and VFix, everyone are safe right now. And I'm glad I could help in any way I possibly could at that point in time. So it's
Thank you
nice to
so
see
much.
that.
It's very wholesome that even though as heated as this championship battle has gotten, there's been no dodgy stuff on track, and off track it's been a very wholesome community feeling so far. So,
Yeah, Netflix are not
guys,
liking this at all.
whoever's watching this,
Yeah,
join
sure.
IRL if you want to join a very wholesome community.
Yeah, these guys I don't know how many other people can say this for the Discord server. And just give me the floor for a second, Malav. But this server literally saved my family and my life, and that is not hyperbole. Uh, so again, you massive legends in the server, absolute legends. And Redstone, just absolutely wholesome guy. Never looks for drama, and just yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's ever since he shifted to Norway, the Haaland internet, the Haaland race pace, and now the Haaland help. So he's like Haaland and Kevin De Bruyne. One is Kevin De Haaland right now. So yeah,
Kevin Tehala seems
but
like a nice name. But yes, moving on to Brazil, good luck to both of you for the final race of the season. We'll take
yes,
obviously a break
Brazil.
of a
I
month
mean,
or so before we go
Brazil.
racing again. But it's going to be interesting race. Any thoughts around Brazil VFX or Redstone? How do you find the track? Are you good at the track? Have you done any practice?
I think compared to Miami, the thing is that Brazil, because Miami, it's because of the low grip condition, it's more like what the base result is most of the time what happens. But Brazil is a wild card, man. That track, it's so
The
short,
weather, the
and the
weather, the
weather, the safety
weather.
cars, the VSCs. Anytime you have a shorter track, it's bound to produce more randomness. So I'll be hoping for a little bit of that. But yeah, if Redstone gets it, then I have no qualms in surrendering. I think I literally in the last race of last season, I literally asked for people to just get for a challenge, and Redstone has delivered that in folds. And remember, if I lose, that I'm actually ahead by 5 points right now.
Yes, the who can forget.
All right, so
Anyways,
I think let's close at that. Thank you everyone for watching.
yes.
Congratulations
Before
to
we go, could I just
Redstone.
say, could I
Yep.
just say a few last words? First of all, it's great to be back in commentary, and it's great to be back watching such a close fight for the win. Number two, to everyone out there who was watching our streams, please keep Manipur in your hopes and prayers, because it's literally a war zone out there right now, and not the fun kind where you get armor plates and all that stuff. So yeah, keep Manipur in your prayers. And lastly, shout out to everyone who helped us all, because you've been a major help to us in every way possible. You've literally brought us back from the jaws of death. That is all that I'm going to say. And yeah, thank you so much. We move
And
on to Brazil.
sorry to interrupt. If I could just say it was an absolute pleasure racing with you tonight, VFix. And we just like gunning it, like, all the way.
Yeah,
And it was
yeah,
really
but I
close
just
at
hate it
times, but
when a certain shade of color car just tries to ruin the entire thing by almost taking us both out right in the middle of the track. But yeah,
I mean, and
Love,
besides that,
love,
like come tricky Collie and
love to
tricky
everyone,
race.
love to everyone, love to everyone, love to everyone.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it was great, and whatever happens in Brazil, man, I've had a great season, and
Yeah, God knows we needed
regardless,
it. This game has been. I think without the title battle, we would be averaging single-digit views on stream because
seven more days, everyone, for the D1 season to end. The point difference is now 5, and we shall see how the points. How we shall see who ends up with the championship in their hands. Will it be a first-time winner, or will it be someone who will match Caesar for the third title in IRL history? But all that we look forward to in the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. Anyways, that is it from my side.
All
And
right, guys.
it's
Thank
been
you
a
for
pleasure
sticking
commentating again
around,
tonight.
and thank you. Yes, thank you so much, Jen, for stepping in. Congratulations to VFix and Redstone and BloodX Wave, who's not joined us, but brilliant try from him and great qualifying. We'll see you next week for Division 2 and Division 1 finales, Fridays and Saturdays, for the final time this season and on this game. And then we move on to 2023, where safety car will still be a thing, but lap cars will not be allowed to overtake for whatever
Well,
reason.
there's red flags now.
Yeah, there is red flags, which is a good thing. Good night and bye bye.